to all the dispossessed youth of Africa, for perpetuation of communion with ancestral spirits through the fight for African freedom, and in the firm faith that the dead, the living, and the unborn will unite to build the destroyed shrines. Selah.
Hello and welcome, beloveds, to another episode of Ask Dr. Mumbi. My name is Dr. Mumbi Seraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I'm reporting live and direct from the literal, oh my God, from the literal Horn of Africa. It's a beautiful sunrise here in an island called Manda, which is right next to Lamu. And yeah, we're about to go do our swim, but we wanted to get in a quick video. Special shout out to our Patreon family. We appreciate, love you so much. Thank you so much for all the support that you give us. And, thanks to everyone that has subscribed, beloveds. We're approaching 100,000. There's so much going on that I will be addressing, I don't know when you'll see this, but there's a lot going on right now across the world, the good, the bad, the ugly. And, it's all about getting your attention. Your attention, beloveds, is the highest currency right now. But the question I've been getting a lot is, what do I mean when I say only the fittest of the fittest of the fittest mentally shall survive? So I wanted to get into that. And it ties into what I was just saying. The most valuable currency you have in your hands is your attention. Whatever you pay attention to, that's where your vibe goes. That's where your energy goes. That's where your power goes. Everything follows your attention. So you really have to be absolutely, very protective of your attention, beloveds. Very defensive of where you're putting your attention. Because you see, right now, beloveds, nothing can be forced on you, but we're seeing how manipulation, fear, and propaganda can bend the will of a weaker man and make him go against his own better judgment. We're seeing people really be tested mentally. It's not a physical. What people are facing is not physical. It's not a physical battle. It's not a physical test. It's a mental test. And you see, it's all about the agility of the mind. And so much, beloveds, has been done by the Babylon system to lock your mind down. This thing that they tell us that we're only using 5% of our brains is really, that should worry us. That is something that is absolutely disturbing, beloveds. And so the thing that will get you through this is not your money. It's not how well prepared you are physically. It's important to prepare. It's important to stock up on food. It's important to stock up on water. It's important to get renewable energy and know how you would charge your electronics or whatever you need in case of a blackout. It's important to get out in nature. All those things are critical. But the most critical work right now is the work of your mind, beloveds, of making your mind extremely agile. And I'll get into how to make your mind the fittest of the fittest, because we're in a marathon and you can see like how mental the world is. I mean, literally, even with Facebook announcing the metaverse, they're literally saying, yo, welcome to our freaking synthetic world, our synthetic universe, our virtual universe that doesn't even exist. So they literally came here, took us out of nature, groomed us, brainwashed us, the majority who have fallen for it, and now they're leading people to hell on earth. And hell on earth is a virtual reality where you literally aren't in control of your body. And it's all about the mind control. That's hell on earth. Having your mind being manipulated and with fear and anxiety and worry, that's hell, beloveds. And so in this season, you need to make your mind stronger. And there are ways that you do that. You need to really strengthen your mind. You need to be continuously feeding yourself the necessary and pertinent information, beloveds. because that's only the fittest of the fittest of the fittest shall survive mentally. And many of you are wearing yourselves out by feeding on the Babylon news, on the Babylon media, on the Babylon entertainment, on the Babylon gossip, on the Babylon lifestyle, which they're getting ready to cut off. Like when I see people still buying these massive homes, and I bought this car and I did this and I did that, it's just like you're really not aware of what time it is. And you're being used and as a distraction to pull the attention of others. So beloveds, this is really a time to dial down your life. Dial it down, beloveds. Dial it down, so that you can strengthen your mind. Let's take a short break. When we come back, I'll go into how do we go about strengthening our mind.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, Africa.
Welcome back, beloveds, to Ask Dr. Mumbi. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. I realize, the sun wasn't rising in the first part of this video, so it might have been a bit dark, but beloveds, I'm right here as the sun pops into the sky. What a gift. Our ancient ones always, there were those that would look at the sun and they understood the power of the sun. Ra, Rana, and how that was a spiritual being as well. But those are definitely stories for other days. Don't forget, if you have any questions, you can always email me, Dr. Mumbi at drmumbishow.com. And I've been getting this question: how do we become fitter mentally? Although most people actually ask me, what do we need to survive the seasons and times ahead? I'm not prepped enough. And I see different people giving different advice, stay prayed up. That's a common one. But who are you praying to and what are you praying about? That's why, really only the fittest of the fittest of the fittest mentally, because it's all about your narrative, beloveds, and the narrative that you are standing in. And that means, like with the way the world is, that means creating your own narrative. So to be mentally strong, beloveds, I'm actually remembering this song by, there's this reggae artist, a female. She talks about, strengthen your mind. We're living in serious, serious times. So, and I've talked about this before, strengthening your mind is all about the information that you feed it. The information, the words, the conversation, they all become like food, beloveds, for your mind, just like you eat physical food. You have to be very, very careful in this season what kind of spiritual and mental food you're feeding yourself, because that is going to determine your narrative. And if you see what's happening right now, there is such a push by propaganda media. That's why you have to start looking at alternative news, news outlets. You have to start looking at different voices. Many may have already been taken off, the ones that are really hard hitting with the news may already have been taken off platforms like this. So you have to mix, and not just watching, but also like reading different things that are going on, beloveds. Because strengthening your mind means giving it information that will empower it. I think it's so important daily to remind yourself that you are a creator, that you have power to order your reality. So it's very important to do either affirmations or listen to people who are talking about how awesome we are and how we've come with all these powers. It's really important because you see, most of us, for most of our lives, we have been conditioned to fail ourselves at such a time as this. We have been groomed and brainwashed and educated to be so limited that when we required an expanded mind to survive the seasons, we wouldn't be able to do it. We've literally been handicapped, beloveds, by the Babylon system. That's exactly what they've done. They've handicapped us where we can't even think for ourselves. They've taught, and that's the most dangerous thing that they've done. They've taught us how to think, and then they've made us guilty and feel like it's a sin when we question what we're thinking about. And so now, because Babylon has spent all this time creating this mental world, the metaverse, creating this reality, they are now literally ordering people around by just releasing certain stories, directing the narrative, because they've got everyone hooked on this narrative. And the only reason people stay hooked on this narrative is because of fear and anxiety, and most importantly, ignorance. So it is absolutely critical, beloveds, in this season that you really watch what you're putting in, that you start to recondition what is already in there as much as possible, and that you try and make as many of your thoughts as conscious, make your life as conscious as possible. Don't live on autopilot, beloveds. Don't live in a reactionary world. If you're living, a reactionary life, if you're living so much in the physical and everything is being ordered by the physical, then literally you're living you're in their control. You have to bring more of your life, your spiritual ideas, everything to the surface, where you're even seeing the future that is up ahead. You're seeing what is unfolding for you. You're seeing the amazing things that are, coming towards you. You're getting the warning signs. That's how you live, beloveds. Because time is an illusion as well that they have created. And it's only if you've strengthened your mind that you can now actually, use time, bend time, manipulate time to work, for you instead of work against you. Because you see, right now, time is an invention of man, so we can never run out of time. But we're constantly being told that time is running out. And the time that is running out is like, Babylon has ended. That narrative is over. We're in the conclusion. And yet people think it still exists, which gives it power. So, beloveds, be careful what you're feeding your mind, the news you're listening to. Use the Babylon news just as a weather forecast to kind of give you a gauge of, where things are going, what kind of plans they're unleashing, but don't feed on it. I think like when we first awakened, many of us used to, binge on all the news and what Babylon is doing, what was called then conspiracy theories, but you already know what they're doing. And that's not what's important right now. What's important is to get your narrative together so that your narrative, your programming, your story is not overridden by theirs and what they want you to think, or how they want you to be living. Because the hell on earth that they're creating right now, this virtual world, it's depressing. This is the real life. Being in nature, being in the water. Like, I'm just gonna lie around in the sun all day, beloved, listening to some reggae music and doing my thing. And I'm really pulling my attention back. And this has been a great social media break for me. But, the show must go on. But I've been really pulling my attention back and spending more time in nature, and I'm seeing my life change drastically. And it's not even, it's just like I wake up in the morning and I'm literally an evolving different person. I'm not the person I was yesterday. And those are the changes we need to be seeing. Big yourself up. Have only high vibe conversations, beloved. The line has already been, drawn. You already know those who are thinking different from you. So don't engage in those conversations, because those are the kind of things that will weaken you. Keep yourself uplifted. Keep your, aspirations up, and continue to learn more about how you become the creator of your own reality. Until next time, Chukwapa Mozo.